Now, back to the interview from a few minutes ago with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The best of the morning X.
99X.
Okay, so then what happened?
So the pilot came out and basically at that point told him to straighten up his act, or they were going to make the decision to restrain him for the rest of the flight.
And, how do they do that? I mean, if they decide to restrain you...
He's going to tell you.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So I guess he chose that I was going to call Delta's bluff on it. You know.
What did he start doing?
Just really kept acting up and swearing and cursing at everyone, and a couple of the flight attendants that were coming down the aisle, he would kind of obstruct them as they were trying to come down the aisle and whatnot.
Wow.
So
Classic
eventually
guy.
the two male flight attendants and the lead female flight attendant came over to put the restraint on him, which I'm sure you've seen them, just those long hardwire plastic cuffs that attach.
Oh, they had some of those?
Yeah, they had a couple on the flight, surprisingly enough.
The ones that cops use for rioters?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So wait a minute. So the guy's sitting there raising hell, and he sees the three flight attendants coming his way. Are they lurking over to him or marching right over with the cuffs in plain view?
Yeah, they pretty much came over, and they even gave him the last option of,
Sit
here's
down
your
and
chance.
shut
You
up.
can either straighten up here or put the cuffs on, and he pretty much started mouthing off and swearing at him. So at that point, they're, trying to get his hands in front of him so they can put the cuffs on him. The first pair, they actually locked before they ever got them on him because I don't think they knew how they worked. So they had to toss those out. But so now the four of them are struggling. The three, flight attendants and the guys trying not to let him do it.
So he's sitting in his chair still, and they're trying to pull his hands out in front of him on his laps where they can tie him together.
You got it. You got it. So at that point, he's starting to struggle, and he's definitely a lot bigger and stronger than probably the three of them put together.
Right.
So I just kind of hopped up out of my seat and grabbed the female flight attendant and just told her, I would help out. And the guy that was sitting directly behind him pretty much jumps up at that point and kind of grabs him under the chin to pull him back a little bit, to try to keep his head still and stuff. And I guess cut off his air a little bit so they could get the
Grabbed
things
him by
cuffed
the
on him.
chin.
Can you
Was he
picture?
a Green Beret? The guy jumps up and puts a lock on his throat?
Probably reached around the back of the chair and just chin locked him while they tried to pull his arms around.
I'm sure by this point everyone is so frustrated they'll,
Frustrated and a little freaked out. Was the guy screaming still? Like, you mother this, you mother that, I'm going to kick your...
Yeah, it was just constant yelling and swears at this point and at all of us and the whole deal. So.
And yet it still hasn't really gotten out of hand yet.
No. I mean, even at this point, it's still, I guess looking back on the situation, it's still normal.
Right, exactly. So, so you're still trying to hog tie the guy.
Yeah, so we get his hands bound in front of him and his safety belts off, and Delta won't actually let us attach him to the seat physically anyway.
Uh-huh.
They said it's against federal regulations to actually restrain someone to their seat.
Okay.
So you just restrain them to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, it seems like, okay, he's going to kind of calm down. He started to calm down a little bit after we had done it. And everyone, we go sit back down, and the flight attendants go about their business and stuff. And I pretty much went right back to my seat and pulled my blanket on and grabbed a sleeping mask and laid back down.
How could you just, fall asleep?
I wouldn't cover my eyes up after that.
I know.
Well, I was trying to.
Okay, so this guy's just sitting there unbelted, but he's got his hands tied in front of him, and then what?
So I sit down, I get all the sleep stuff on. I'm kind of watching, they got those really cool little video monitors now for you in your own seat. So I'm kind of looking underneath the sleeping mask. I've got it raised up a little bit. I'm trying to watch the end of the movie, and I'm trying to fall asleep, the whole deal. And at this point, I see the guy get up out of his seat and start making his way up to the front cabin.
Oh, boy.
And, we're only in the third row, so we're really not that far.
Uh-huh.
So as I see him going up, I start to sit up, and I take the blanket off, and I'm unleashing my seatbelt and stuff. And the part of the story now that all my friends amuse is just pushing the sleep mask up on my forehead and not actually taking it off.
It's like sunglasses.
Right.
You just
Yeah,
slid
you
them
got
up
it.
there.
You got it.
Uh-huh.
So superhero, I'm not.
You should have just taken the blanket.
As I get to the aisle and
back of your
start
shirt.
to look really towards the front cabin, I basically, and you could hear them yelling at one another. I basically see the passenger taking both his hands from kind of down at his waist level, come straight up underneath the jaw of the flight attendant.
He hit the attendant with a double fist?
He nailed him. According to the paper, and I don't know how true it is, but I was definitely with him there that night. His jaws, if it's not broken, I would be really surprised.
Well, he double fisted up on him, so yeah.
I think I read that he did break his jaw. So he kind of like gave him a double-fisted uppercut.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
He hit
hurts.
him pretty solid.
You could probably hear it probably sounded pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Did he see it coming or no?
No. I mean,
Wow.
it just, they were kind of yelling. I mean, he was yelling the whole time anyway. So,
All right.
and he just did it. So, at that point,
down goes the flight attendant.
I mean, knocked him backwards. He didn't hit the ground or anything. But at that point, I just took like a 2 or 3 step run and start at the guy and just hit him as hard as I could, like right in the throat area with a forearm.
All right.
And it calmed both of us. You know how in that front cabin, it's the kitchen. So it's like all those drawers and stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of what we hit into.
This interview isn't over. More after a quick break. You can also find it and more on the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie podcast. You're inside the best of the Morning X.
It's part sports.
We have football on the brain.
Part pop culture.
Dennis Leary. True or false? You refuse to wear a glove with Mickey Mantle's signature on it for the movie The Sandlot.
The Red Sox blood, the Bruins blood, they run deep.
And in the best celebrity interviews.
Robert De Niro here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Just got over a 24-hour virus.
The antidote is to appear on The Rich Eisen Show.
There you go. I would have just done it earlier.
And you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
There is a medicinal quality to appearing on this program.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.